guys, thanks for joining me for an episode of Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today we're going to take a look at Grackles. This is a brand new game by Fireside Games. It is a 2 to 4 player game that takes roughly half an hour to 45 minutes to play, and it is a competitive game, so each of the players is working against the other players to have the most points at the end of the game. So in the game itself, you are playing a flock of birds from a certain area, and you're trying to have your flock have the most on the telephone lines by the end of the game. And you're going to be doing different things throughout the game, placing tiles, rotating tiles with your limited rotation tile tokens, extending your lines, and trying to thwart the other players by placing your lines where they won't be able to place theirs. So my opinions of this game so far is that it is very good. If you like abstract strategy games, if you like light games, this is definitely one I recommend checking out. The rule set is very, very easy. It's only a page and a half, very, very simple, as you guys are going to see in the video. So this is not one I would recommend if you're looking for a real heavy game. This is not that. This is a very fast moving, very fast game to play, and it has a great amount of theme to it. Fireside Games does a great job of capturing the theme with each of their games. This one definitely takes me back to that scene in the Pixar short with all the little birds trying to get onto that one telephone wire. So I kind of think about that as I'm playing through it. So this is definitely one I would recommend, though. Like I said, this is a great small title that is very fast and very easy to pick up. So that being said, if you guys enjoy these videos, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. And if you want to get notifications anytime I post new videos, please consider ringing that bell as well. It'll help me out, and it'll help you guys get new videos up all the time. And it will also help to continue to grow my channel so that I can continue to get these great games for you guys. So help me out, hit those buttons, and let's go ahead and head to the table, and I'll teach you guys how to play. So the first thing we're going to look at are the tiles themselves. So there are two different tiles. You have the two starting tiles that are going to have a little half of a triangle in it to make the starting square, and then the regular tiles. And each tile is going to have one color from each of the four factions. Also, each color is going to have a circle around it, either a solid circle or a dotted circle. And this is to identify each color for those people that are colorblind. So the blue circle will have a solid line around it. The green circle is going to have 4 dotted lines. The purple circle is going to have smaller dotted lines. And the black circle is going to have the heaviest amount of lines with dots in between them. For player setup, each player is going to receive a quick reference guide outlining the different actions they can perform during their turn. They're also going to receive their 5 rotation tokens and all of their bird tokens of their color. And for this video, I'm also going to be using the Crystal Fortress organizers, and you guys will be able to find a link to this on the bottom in the description. For board setup, you're going to connect the starting 2 tiles, and then you're going to grab the other 23 tiles and shuffle them up into a stack. Once you're done with that, then you're ready to begin the game. Grackles is played over an undefined number of turns. During each turn, each player is going to perform one action from a list of 4. This will continue until a 5x5 tile board is made and all available pairs of spots on the telephone wire have birds on them. At that point, then the players will go into the scoring step, and the player that has the most birds on the tiles will win. The final part of setup is to determine the starting player. So each player will take a token into one player's hand, mix it up, and then we'll have one drop out. And so purple will be the starting player. From there, then we'll move into the players' turns. During a player's turn, they're going to get to perform one action from the list of actions, which there are 4. There is to draw and place a tile, build a line, extend a line, or to rotate an empty tile. So I'm going to take you guys through examples of each of these. The first action we're going to look at is to draw and place a tile. A newly drawn tile must be placed adjacent and not diagonally to a tile already on the board. It may be placed in any orientation, and typically you're going to line it up with a spot of your color that is already on the board. Once a tile is drawn, it cannot be replaced and must be played, and all 25 tiles must end up forming a 5x5 square. If the board already has 5 tiles across or down, the player cannot place a tile in that direction. So let's go ahead and start with a purple player. Let's go ahead and say that they draw a tile. So once a tile is drawn, they can place it connecting to any other tile in any orientation that they want. So with the purple player, they may want to do something like this so that they can start forming a line that'll line up with another purple. Or they could extend the line and have it out here and get a little bit of a farther distance between the two. Now, like I said, if we already had 5 out here, like this, then if a player was to place a tile, they could not choose to place it on either end, as there are 5 tiles in a row already, creating the 5 grid. So at that point, then the player could place it on any of the edges on the other sides until one of those sides had 5. The second option a player has is to place birds, to connect 2 unoccupied spots on the telephone wire that match their bird's color. Birds are going to be placed on the tiles by connecting the spots of your own color to form a straight line. Lines may only be orthogonal and not diagonal, and placing birds starting on one empty spot of your color and ending on any other empty spot of your color, as well as every spot in between, as long as it's a straight line. And you cannot cross another line along the way, including one of your own color. So with the blue player now, let's go ahead and say that he chooses to build a line. So he's going to start on one of his colors and place a bird on each spot in between that color and his color. So that is a straight line of his birds. The third option a player has is to extend a line. On a subsequent turn, you may extend a line to another empty spot of your color, but only in the direction of that line that is already going, and only from one end of the line at a time. A new line must always start and stop on empty spots. So for example, let's go ahead and say that the purple player's last turn they chose to make a line. And now it's back to the blue player, and he notices that he already has a line here, and he could choose to extend it all the way out to here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now he can only go in one direction, so if there was additional spots over here, he could not extend that as well. And we again cannot cross anybody else's line, including ours. So if another player would have had one going down one of these spots, it would not be able to work. But we've gone ahead and extended our line. The final option a player has is to rotate a tile. Each player has 5 rotation tokens, and up to 5 times per game, you can choose to rotate an empty tile, which is a tile that does not contain any birds on it. Keeping it in the same spot, you can rotate it any direction you want to. After you rotate the tile, you're going to place one of your rotation tokens near the play area, signaling that you've spent a rotation token. And the starting 2 tiles are never allowed to be rotated, even if they're empty. So let's look at an example of this. Let's go ahead and say that the purple player sees a really good opportunity to make a larger line. So he's going to go ahead and spend one of his rotation tokens. So we'll just place it over here to rotate this tile here. So he's going to keep it in the same spot, but he's going to go ahead and rotate it. So now he has a line ready to go. Now that I've covered all the different options during a player's turn, let's go ahead and take a look at the game in action. So again, we're going to start with the purple player, and unfortunately the first player that goes during the game only has one option, which is to place a tile, as they can never do any of the other options that are listed. As you cannot rotate one of the starting tiles, you don't have a line to begin with to extend, and you cannot build a line because there won't ever be any spaces that are connected. So our purple player is going to go ahead and start, and let's go ahead and place our tile here. Then we're going to move over to the blue player. So the blue player is going to do the same thing. He's going to build a tile, and he's going to place one there. Going back over to our purple player, they see a really nice line, so they're going to go ahead and build a line. Going back over to our blue player, he's also going to build a line. And our purple player will go next, who is going to take a tile. Going back over to our blue player, he is also going to place a tile. Let's do that. Our purple player is going to extend their line. Going back over to our blue player, he will build. Over to our purple player, they will also build a line. Let's do that. Our blue player is going to go, he's going to go ahead and rotate a box, or a tile, like this. Going back to our purple player, they're also going to rotate that tile because they do not like that. Our blue player will go and do the same thing again. Our purple player is going to go ahead and build a line. Our blue player will go, and he has a great big line here, so he's going to go ahead and connect all the spaces in between. Our purple player will go, and they're going to go ahead and make a line. Then our blue player is going to go. He's going to add another tile. Let's do that. Our purple player is going to go. And they're going to go ahead and go here. Our blue player will rotate a tile. Purple is going to add a line. Or add a tile. Going back to our blue player, he's going to extend his line. Purple will draw. Blue will go ahead and draw as well. Purple's going to draw. Blue is going to rotate. Purple will draw. And blue is going to place a line. Completely screwing up purple's battle plan. So purple could have had a whole line all the way across, but blue put down his, so the purple cannot do that, but they're going to go ahead and do this instead. So at this point, it's going to continue going back and forth between the players. Once all the tiles are out and no one can place any more lines or extend any lines, then the game will end. The players are going to take all of their tokens off the board and count them up, and the player that has used the most of their bird tokens will be the overall winner. If there is a tie, then both players will share the win, and both will be victorious. Well, I hope you guys found that video helpful. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave those in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you guys enjoyed this video, if you like what I do, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel, as it will help me to continue to grow and bring new and exciting games to you guys. And as always, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my videos and leave me feedback on them. I do really appreciate it, and I do take into account everything you guys say. And until next time, I will see you guys later.